So now I think the intro is done and we are now on. And you probably have some great faces here on the podcast. It's Somesh and it's Joey. Hey, Somesh and Joey.
Hi
Hey
everyone.
man, it's been a while.
Uh, yeah, it's been a while, and you guys are doing good.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty busy, so yeah, I'm doing great.
Happy to hear
And
that. And what about you, Somesh?
Doing good. Back from like still having those FOMO thing from Paris. Yeah, a nice thing. Still collecting those memories and the learnings that we had there from there. Yep.
Ah,
And a lot
yeah,
of
we had
things
a
coming from Microsoft continuously. Yeah.
yeah
now
we
living in a
you,
great country.
Yeah. Yeah.
ah
Yeah.
yeah you moved to Holland. That's right.
Yes. Holland,
Yeah,
Netherlands. Yeah. It's nice here. Like the first word morgue that I learned.
Hmm? Yeah, Morgan. That's the funniest word I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that
Yeah.
on Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. How are you guys doing?
I'm good,
Good.
and
Yep.
I hope Lewis is good as well. And we
Yeah.
all met at in Paris, right? All of
Yeah.
us. That
Yeah.
was fun, except
Yeah.
Joey.
yeah. I wasn't
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I wasn't
Mm.
there. I was on vacation, so I was doing good.
Yeah.
It's always good to put names to faces, and I think that in-person events are more memorable than online ones. You retain the
Yeah,
information better. You're speaking. There's breaks between sessions, and yeah, they're very good.
yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So on this episode, we're gonna talk about. I gotta pull up the titles. It's gonna be. Let me just. Yeah, just usually have James here, and he's the
Mm.
one controlling the back end, the buttons, and now I'm the one pressing the buttons. But we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about today, passwordless, and we're gonna talk about global secure access, and we are gonna talk about the last one, which I don't have a button for, is Azure AD rename and Copilot. I thought I made a button for all of them, but yeah,
It's
there you
okay. You
have it.
can learn on the job. It's fine.
Yeah, I learned on the job. That's right. I'm the how do you call it? The new guy at the job. Yes, that's me.
It's what everyone does in IT. You learn on the
Yeah.
job.
So first off, let me just check out your blogs, guys. So we have Joey's blog here, uh, and yeah, I just want to make a shout out for that one, Joey. So all on you. You made the latest blog post about finding expiring client secrets from Graph API
Yeah,
with PowerShell.
yeah. It's all some weeks ago now. I see it's 1st of August, so that's been a while now. Um, you guys all know the issue if a client certificate expires, services went offline. It's pretty hard to manage all those client certificates in all Azure ID applications, or I should say Entra ID applications. So I was busy with PowerShell to monitor all the applications which are running in Azure ID. Sorry, Entra ID.
Hmm.
With client certificates and report back to the console if some client certificates expire within 30 or 90 days. It's configurable to your needs. And I'm now thinking about extending this script,
Hmm.
maybe sending a Windows notification, a Teams message, an email. Not sure what to pick, but just running a PowerShell script by yourself is not really useful. Well, it is useful, but you won't do this every day. So I want to have a notification if a client certificate will expire in, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm thinking about solutions for this, and that would probably be my next block if I'm inspired and picked an application where I want my notification, which is, I think, Teams. Not sure yet.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, Teams notification and channel shared channel site for the
Yeah,
IT guys, right? Yeah.
correct.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
I also saw a video about some kind of open source notification, push notification you can make on your iPhones and Android phones and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe that could be incorporated into the.
Yeah.
It was the network Chuck guy I saw. He made something about doing push notifications.
What was it
It's a
called?
YouTube guy. Yeah, network Chuck. He's a YouTube guy, so shout out to him. Um, but let's continue down the road and go over to Sumesh, his blog. And Sumesh,
Always.
I know you like
Like,
Mac OS, and you're really putting some spotlight on Mac OS right now. This one
yes.
looks clean as.
All thanks to you.
It
Ghost,
looks
your platform.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
clean, unlike the latest macOS release, which just has a lot of CVEs and issues that need to be fixed.
Yeah. Yes.
You
So
want to talk about a little bit
always.
about the latest blog post, Sumesh?
Yes, so this is the latest thing which has been released in this service release of Intune. It talks about remote help for macOS. Although we need a plan 2 for this, for this remote support, it's a part of the same plan. It's because till now there was a challenge by providing support to macOS platform from Windows platform actually. We have to rely on Teams, and then the Teams thing, or if we are, for example, if I'm on Windows and you are on Mac, I cannot take control and request control.
Hmm.
So this is a step forward from Microsoft where they have used the same functionality. They from the Intune console you can request, you can initiate a remote connection, basically remote help connection on the macOS device, and it's till now it's only till Ventura supported,
Okay.
and as of now today it's only view only. So for you cannot take control, but Microsoft promises that next wave would be requesting control also. So this is something new which is interesting and that Microsoft has released. So I've written a small blog post over it.
So,
Yeah.
Mesh,
So.
I have a question for you. I'm not really into macOS, but is it possible to use Quick Assist from a Windows device to take control or view a macOS system? Do you know
No,
that?
no,
It's not possible.
no
It's
possible.
you really need remote help for macOS support,
Yes, that's why they have released it. Yeah,
which is a paid add-on, right?
it's a paid add-on for Intune Suite. Yeah.
Okay. So remote help is actually taking over the world, right?
Yeah.
In regards of doing remote help. Funny enough.
Yeah, I'm also testing platform SSO, but cannot speak about it. NDA. Yeah, yeah, it is really exciting, and it's something what we wanted from Microsoft. So it's actually working what we needed.
Okay, glad to hear
Just a
that. So
question
yeah,
on
Lewis.
remote help is, I think a lot of customers, including myself, would
Hmm.
think, should I switch to remote help or should I continue using my third-party solution, which they've been maturing for decades now.
Hmm.
I think you're talking about TeamViewer, I
Team
think.
Viewer. Yeah.
Things like TeamViewer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
AnyDesk, Screen Connect.
I think it's all cost at the end because you for the third party also you are paying some cost per license basis and all. And then if you are buying Intune Suite, then you get because for Windows and if you are going for EPM and all those additional benefits, that's included with this for macOS also. So it depends upon like the cost balancing thing, how you are
Hmm.
managing the cost. Yeah, because if you buy Intune Suite 2, then you have this functionality by in it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? With remote help,
Hmm.
it's basically you can remote access to a device, right? And
Yes.
so many products can actually help with that. So
Yeah.
what makes remote help unique? I hope it's gonna be on the price level. Uh,
Let's hope so.
Well,
No more
it's
add-ons.
it's a Microsoft application, so they will continue to develop it and integrate it in all their applications and systems and portals which will exist in the next future.
Hmm.
So I think remote help would be the probably your best pick,
mm,
unless TeamViewer is a great application.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yep.
we used it for
And
years.
yeah. Yes. And it integrates with your like Entra ID, passwordless authentication, and you get MFA prompt also while initiating or accepting both. So it's a bit of secure. And if you have those SS extension deployed on your Mac OS devices, then it's a single sign-on also there.
oh yeah, that's right. So it gives you a lot more than just
Hmm.
remote help. It also gives you RBAC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, yeah. Sorry, I got. So my name is Screen right now. Okay, that's good. Okay, let me just change that one. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Joey. It's because of in the bottom left, it says Jonas Burrow. I just wanted to remove it so it doesn't like it just said Screen, and I changed both my name and the Screen's name. Okay, that's awesome. Um, But yeah, you can also use RBAC, role-based access control, right? And PIM
Yes, PIM
to
conditional
incorporate into it.
access. Yeah.
Yeah, and conditional access. Yeah, so
But
it's
that's great.
so
Yes, but conditional access with Mac OS still is a very, like I could say, it's a very peculiar thing. It breaks quite easily because compliance and conditional access with Mac and Entra does not go hand in hand. It's too early for those things.
Mm.
Yeah.
let's have that subject maybe for next
Next.
episode where we're gonna focus on mobile device management.
Hmm.
That could be a great subject to have on it. So let's continue down the road on identity and go for passwordless. So I am, of course, a fan of passwordless. I think a lot of us are, many of us are. So this is just like the web page for passwordless. I had no reference to go for this one. We probably have a blog each of us about passwordless, but let's just throw up these three terms, which is pretty good. And the first one we just talked about was the ensure the seamless user experience, pretty much with as it gives with remote help. Do you see anything else it could give? Better user experience with passwordless? Just throwing up the subject.
Security.
Security.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No more remembering the
Absolutely,
password.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the user experience is probably the biggest win here. Um, Logging on with Windows Hello and having single sign-on to all your applications, it's absolutely great. Passwordless is it's a really important thing in this. You don't want a password. I know many environments where users log on with Windows Hello have to log on to several applications without SSO. Oh, I forgot my password. It's not the same as my Windows Hello logon. It's it's unbelievable.
Hmm.
Passwordless is absolutely the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all know
Interesting.
customers with legacy applications who don't support these kinds of authentications, which is
Yeah,
a thing we can't control.
interesting to see the adoption rate on this at the moment. I would imagine it's less than 5% of people doing this. Not because it shouldn't be done, but because this is seen as ultra modern and a completely different way of working.
Mm,
Since like the 70s when computers were first invented, the password has been in people's heads since then.
yeah. I do know customers who ask me the question, why should I do passwordless? The password works, so why should I get rid of it? Why?
And now I have single sign-on.
Well, because the
Yeah,
password works for you, but it also works for anybody else that has it.
correct. They don't understand. It's difficult.
Yeah, I agree. And also the one I wanted to put some focus on is the latest Windows 11 update, where you can try out the passwordless experience, which I've been looking so much forward to that will get here, and it's finally arriving. So you can enable a policy for Windows so it accept passwordless, and you won't be able to sign in with your password.
Wow.
You mean the policy which removes the credential entry from the login
Exactly.
screen? Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I I know this policy was available for a few years with a registry key, which was not documented publicly.
Yeah.
So it was already there, but it was not officially known. But it worked for years, and I tried in a few environments, and it worked great. But there was absolutely no support if something went wrong. So until now, it wasn't officially possible, and I think this is a good starting point to remove the credential entry for the passwordless password sign-on. But endpoints need to be ready for this.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's
a nice
going
change.
somewhere. Yeah. What is not, I'm just gonna make a reference to Mac. Is there like something similar to Macs when with this with the like there is with Windows Hello for Business for Windows?
Yeah. Passkeys.
Passkeys.
Yeah.
Okay. And so passkeys is that gonna be incorporated into passwordless experience?
Passkeys is already there. It's like sort of passwordless. So both Android and like I can say both. I say both. All three platforms, Windows, Mac,
Hmm.
Android. they have released this feature for passkey that if, for example, if you try to log into any account, it prompts you on your iPhone that use or your Google phone that use passkey using Bluetooth connections. That is, they are removing the credential provider from the device itself. So same thing that we need a payload for deploying the passkeys yet. Apple released it in WWDC. Microsoft said they are releasing it soon. Yeah, the passkey deployment for both Android and like iOS things.
And just by googling real quick, that's a good info, Sumesh. I'll see it's based on FIDO 2 or FIDO standards.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so if passkeys is platform universal in a way.
It's universal. You once, but it for the same thing that, for example, they are removing the credential thing, but you need to configure it at some in one of the platforms anyhow. But it's not stored, so it's one place where you need to configure at least for the first time.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, so let's move on to the next subjects we're going to talk about real quick. It's the Azure AD rename. So,
Yay!
is
Got to
that
be
a good
done.
thing or a bad thing? What do you guys say?
Yeah, it's
Confusing.
absolutely good. I still read people asking questions about Azure AD, how to join servers to Azure AD, what is the difference between Azure AD and Azure ADDS, Azure Domain Services. It was so confusing, all those names. People still don't know the difference between some of them. It's absolutely not the cloud version of Active Directory, which many people thought. And to be honest, when I discovered Azure AD, my first time, I really thought it is the cloud version of Active Directory,
Hmm.
but it's
So
absolutely
does that.
not. We all know.
Yeah. I saw that Merrill posted about this on Twitter, and he put a poll on there, and I replied to it saying pretty much exactly what you just said. Azure AD is not AD, and there's there was someone in the UK that I speak to who's a cyber. He works in cybersecurity, and I kind of said this point that this is such a good change. People are getting confused with the product, and he argued that, and someone else also replied saying, I barely know anyone who thinks that Azure AD is anything like AD. And I was like, but everyone in these circles I speak to, customer facing sort of MSP sort of consultants, this is like one of the most common things I've seen that people just confuse the two products and expect you've got users, you've got computers, you've got groups.
Yeah.
There's no OUs, there's no inheritance, there's none of that stuff going on.
Well, it somehow has the same features as Active Directory, but it can do many more things, and that's the biggest difference. And of course, the authentication protocols, which are totally different.
Yeah, it just makes everything a lot easier, and you can quickly integrate third-party apps for SSO.
Absolutely, the integration
Um,
is great. Yeah,
yeah, I mean SSO is not only is it just more secure, but it's more flexible, right? You can bring your third-party application into your existing conditional access policies without making any changes to your policies if you've got the all cloud apps filter enabled. So and this takes 10-15 minutes depending on which app you've got. And that cuts down on what you were saying earlier, which is multiple passwords, multiple apps, different sign-in experiences.
yeah.
Or one question: should we call it still Azure AD ID or the Entra ID ID? That's the confusing thing.
I'm using actually both names when I write a new blog because not everyone knows about Entra ID, but almost everyone knows about Azure AD.
Yeah,
Hmm.
So yeah, I use both.
yeah. But it's true that you said like because when we're talking to people like sometimes even like we ourselves confuse between Entra ID and Azure AD. So when
Yeah.
we generally refer to same that okay the Azure AD nowadays called Entra ID, but it's not that thing same exactly same.
Yeah, today I was talking to a customer and I used the name Entra ID, and he didn't know what I was mentioning about. I said,
No, there's a
"Oh,
phase, right? You gotta get
sorry.
over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, it's Azure AD." Yeah,
yeah. And that's I also saw in Site Conditional Access that they already added the new name when you go down and require a hybrid device for granting access. I was trying to like find it in my own portal, but I didn't want to waste my time on it. But it says inside the control access when you make a grant policy that they already renamed the hybrid SAD joint to intra ID joint, I think. So they have the ID with it. Um, yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be great for conversations. When you talk with your customers, at one point you gotta get over the steps about having a new name. You know, it happened so many times for us, so we know the drill. But in a discussion, it's gonna be great to have uh, a different name
Yeah.
when you talk about something that is so important when you talk about identity access management.
You know, a very confusing thing about these names.
Mhm.
We have Active Directory, which syncs to Azure AD, and Azure AD syncs to Azure Active Directory Domain Services, which is actually the opposite way. That was so confusing. And now you can tell customers, okay, we have Active Directory, which syncs to Entra ID, and Entra ID itself is the source for Active Directory Domain Services. So, because it's very difficult to explain to a customer that you sync from Active Directory to Azure Active Directory and then back to Active Directory in the cloud in Azure. That was confusing. So I think these names are very good like this. And I just saw you opening the page from Meryl Fernando. He's
Yeah, shout out to him.
absolutely furious. He's absolutely drilled down to Enter ID. Are you all registered to his new newsletter?
Yes, I
Yeah, I
am.
see it on LinkedIn quite a
Yeah,
lot.
It's a great one.
I think
yeah,
the other thing here to note as well is it's not just a rename, it's the start of a brand new product line that focuses on the new pillar of security, which is identity. So
yeah.
it's not just devices. We're now considering, I mean, what was it I saw the other day? It was MDM is changing its modern data management, and it really matters where
Hmm.
you're controlling the access to your data, and the device doesn't matter anymore. And that's where the shift is going with all these new products in Entra.
Hmm. And that will make sense to go to the next subject, right? And that's the not this. Oh yeah. By the way, with the rename, I saw Microsoft. They made a. Sorry about that, Lewis.
That's okay.
Microsoft. They made a post about how to rename Azure AD. So they
What
made a
is
post
this?
about how you can go in and rename all your stuff. I will say.
This
Um,
is new.
yeah, and you also have the icon you can download.
Is this some sort of joke? This fake. What is this?
And here you have architecture about the icons, so you have the do's and you have the don'ts. Remember that, important. Um, and you have terms you have to accept when you download the icons. Yeah, there you have
What?
Wow. Well,
it.
just keep scrolling down. Let's see what else is on this page.
Yeah, okay.
Updating, I think, find and replace. Yeah, that's
So
very
you know
good.
that you gotta know find the replace, right? You gotta know your control F, right?
Yeah.
Um, how you change it in bulk on on your code.
I'm always interested in the graphics and icons.
Yeah, and then you have an example of all the. This one is actually pretty good, right? So if you have this one written down in some way in your
Yeah, this is nice.
documentations,
This is nice.
Yeah. Best to create a run book and done. Boom.
Yeah, great parameters. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. So let's not that one. Let's go over to the next one. So the release of the global secure access.
It's pretty new to me. I never tried it actually.
No, and the fast way of me explaining it, because I did my little uh, research today, it was also confusing to me, even though I work with identity a lot. But it's, as I said before the podcast, it's, and you're gonna correct me on this one, Lewis. It's conditional access on steroids, right?
Steroids, yes. Yeah, the
Yeah,
juice.
the juice. Um, so you are combining existing products uh, together inside a SASE solution. And a SASE solution is what is called, what did I call it? I can't even remember it now. Secure
Secure
Access Service Edge. Yeah, I'm sorry about just picking up my own my own post on LinkedIn, but yeah, I just went through it all and tried to explain it to myself, and then share it with the people out there. Um, and this one is probably the best way of explaining it in my own head. In that you have the SaaS security with MCAS, and you also have, of course, device management with Intune, and you have identity-based rules with a conditional access. But then they are adding on top of it network security features, which is software-defined wide area network, firewall as a service, SVG, secure web gateway. And I needed to look up all of these terminologies, which is out in the wild. It's used a lot in Cisco and Palo Alto and Zscaler. So it's kind of a selection of steroids with network security as well.
It's a sort of
Yeah.
VPN, like always on VPN sort of thing, or
We can make reference to VPN when we talk about the intra private access they created. So if you take the same terminology with VPNs and app proxies, you get intra private access, but it works in a different way in the back end.
Who should actually be responsible for this in a bigger IT team? Is it the network engineer or is it the identity engineer? Or is it both, maybe?
Well, this is it. This is why the adoption of such technologies will take years in large companies, because it will be, the two siloed teams won't be able to decide that, and it will never get picked up. I think it will be really popular in small business. A lot of the bottleneck in a company network might be the fact that they have to VPN into a router that's sitting in an office somewhere just to get access to something. This takes this away now, where you can have everyone authenticating to the publicly governed gateway and access IDP.
which means
And
down the
that's
line, yeah. Which means down the line, no more Zscaler, sort of like.
well, yeah, and that's obviously what Microsoft are targeting and trying to bring all that in and capture all that revenue.
Yeah, it's a market for Microsoft, and they have the products already, right? And that's also what I was trying to explain in the bottom here. That's in here, because I couldn't stop thinking about Defender for Cloud Apps, which is already communicating with the SaaS applications, and you can use the continuous access evaluation with conditional app control, which goes in and makes a reverse proxy. But now they just made it a lot more big in talking about legacy protocols when you connect to RDP, like you said, Lewis, and other protocols out there.
I think I saw something really easy with this as well, and it may have been this suite of products, but essentially it's going to be far easier to keep your business data in your company's tenant. So you'll be able to specify a list of tenants where your business data can travel to, and it won't be able to exfil to someone else. Because whilst a company at the moment might have endpoint DLP and MCAS, or Defender for Cloud Apps, what really stops someone from creating a business tenant in a trial and then just copying SharePoint data to that, because it's still sharepoint.microsoft.com? It's very hard to track that data leak.
Yes.
So this should make it easier, and it will block it at the actual packet level.
And while I was doing this research, it's pretty much going to I saw there's something called tenant restriction version 2, which
Here we
goes
go.
yeah, which goes in and talks about how the data is moving. That's the focus on this one. So I think this one is connected to what you just said. Pretty
Yeah,
much,
exactly.
right?
This is literally the page I was talking about. I knew I'd seen it somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, this one can connect to your SASE controls in your global secure access portal. So yeah, it's interesting
Name is
stuff happening.
Yeah, name is quite cool, Sassy.
Yes, I see. Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to the YouTube to the big YouTube guy. What is his name? Yeah, I forgot the name. Damn it. Um, he's a big guy. He does a lot of workouts.
Oh, John Seville.
Exactly. Thank you, Joey. Shout out to him. So if you need like some kind of um, go-to video, you should go and watch his video. It's good. Okay, so the next one that was gonna go to you guys come with the latest and hottest subject, right? Which is Copilot,
Yes.
and there we have it.
Here we
Now
go.
it creates a football. Okay, so yeah, what's your thoughts on Copilot?
I
Well,
like it. I think there's a lot of
yeah.
people talking about it. I think it's going to be. It seems initially expensive, but when you actually do the maths, if it saves someone 2, 3, 5, 10 hours a month, it pays for itself very quickly.
I think adoption is pretty important here because you could pay a lot of money for people not using everything which would be useful for them. So again, adoption would be very, very important, I think. And this Bing image creator is a simple thing which is included in Copilot, but there are many, many more things, of course. But let's do a quick demo. Just type a few random words.
What do you think we should write? Come on, a good one.
Computer on the moon.
Computer on the moon.
Windows XP.
Yeah.
Mac OS.
Close enough.
And Windows. Close enough. Okay, fine. Okay. Let's keep a good conversation here. Okay, here we go. Computer on the moon, Mac OS, and Windows XP.
You've seen Dolly live.
Yeah, and these pictures on the right was something I created before. Okay, that's cool.
Wow.
There we have it.
Vintage
It's insane, man.
That's impressive. I will
Let's have
say.
a look
That's
at. Click
impressive.
on that bottom left one. Let's see what those icons are. What's it managed to get?
It's a Mac.
That's not XP.
That's not
not
XP, is it?
It's very cool. It's very. I've seen. If you look at Dean Ellaby, he uses Midjourney to make the prompts for his. Sorry, the images for his blog posts. I think that's
Cat
what he
image.
said he was using.
Yeah, generally mostly as cats and
A bunny working on.
Say again, Somesh?
That right now.
he mostly used like the images that he used on blogs like cat and like all those things, I think. Yeah.
Pandas and cats and
Yeah.
animals. There we go.
Impressive.
That's some quality photos. It's crazy.
I think generally speaking, though, with Copilot, it's still for quite some time going to be a power user tool.
Yeah.
I don't think the average IT user or the average employee in their field is going to naturally know how to work with it. It's the same as search engines, right? When they first came out, it was like, well, this is going to take over the world. This is going to be this. But everyone here knows that there are people who are good with Google and Bing, and then there are other people who still speak to it like it's a person. This is kind of where open language models try and close that gap, but you still got to be clever with what you put into it and how you deal with what comes out of it. I mean, so Bing Chat Enterprise has been out for a little while now, and if you have E3 or E5, you get that included, and it will use the public training and all the enhancements there on your private data or protect whatever you put into it. So I gave this a go the other day. So I work for an MSP and I do many different projects. I had the task of helping a customer move to SharePoint from a SMB. Their network structure is they have a root folder and then everything in that folder. And as we know, if you try and lift and shift that into SharePoint, you're going to have a bad time. So I asked Bing Enterprise, here are the list of root folder names. Give me some categories that I could put these into, and then give me the output on folder and category line by line, so I have the whole thing, and a couple back and forth that managed to do it. Now, if I had to do that manually, that probably would have taken me 2 or 3 hours to think of something and go through a list of hundreds of folders and then go, oh no, this is actually a better category for that. This is the kind of task that I've used Bing Chat for, and if it can save mundane thinking tasks, it means I can get back to doing productive stuff.
Well, I know a few people who think it's a shame to use Bing Chat or Open AI ChatGPT, but why won't you use it? It will help you for sure. It saves time. It's good.
Yeah.
Why not?
I actually said to a colleague the other day that we really should put pride behind us
Yeah,
and replace that for productivity. Don't
Yeah.
worry that the robot is helping you. Don't worry, you're still using the output to bring good value into your business or for your clients. And if you
Well,
don't get good at this, you're going to be left behind in 5 to 10 years.
yeah. And otherwise, we will still use Google. So, yeah,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We can't know everything.
there's a nice image there on the screen that describes.
I have a question for this one. Do you know if you guys know the answer to it? Do you know if Bing Chat for Enterprise, I think it was called, connects to, as you said, a private data set for each tenant? Does it go
It's not
inside
doing
and
that yet.
okay, but could it go inside and check the data that you have somewhere? And
Well, that's what M365 Copilot will do.
okay,
While we're on the subject of Bing, I because I've been trying to find out everywhere I can use it, I was kind of reminded about how powerful the Bing work search tool is. I go through maybe sometimes 5 to 10 meetings a day, and I need to find files that are related to that meeting. So you can get this right from the Windows start menu by clicking the button. You can start to type a work result in if it's an Excel sheet or
Yeah.
a proposal, type the client name in or whatever you need to type in. You can go from there to Bing for work and it will show you the most relevant files. And like every single time it has found the file I need in our SharePoint environment, which is huge and has hundreds of gigabytes of content in it. And it's quicker than going to SharePoint to find the site or having, as many people do, everything synced to OneDrive, which is just bad practice in my view.
Mm.
So yeah, Bing is making big moves in the corporate space. I think people need to start looking at it a little bit more because it can save you a lot of time.
I've seen people creating and generating PowerPoint presentations from step 1 to step 25 or to page 25 just using AI. It's great.
Yeah, the design tools have been in there for quite a while now. Where it suggests layouts and contents and things in PowerPoint.
Yeah, I've seen it in a video. It's amazing.
yeah, I
But
think it's pretty cool.
I'm sure there are many more things in Copilot which we don't know about yet, because we still don't have access to it. So we actually don't know. We only can guess.
But Bing is being built into Edge browser, right? So I'm just saying that. So Sumesh is also happy. So he has it on Mac OS as well, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like same thing. Like if we need to know how to use AI basically. And like same discussion we have in office also. Like some people say that no, it's not a good habit to use AI or like Copilot or whatever. But if it's as like Lewis was saying, if it's make your work easy, if it's just easing your life, then there is no shame in using it.
Agree.
I agree.
Yeah. It's just like don't copy and paste everything in the environment. You should also know what to ask, and you should also know how to implement the answers or modify it basically.
It's your third hand, right? Oh, can you say the third hand? Yeah. Oh, second brain. Let's say it like that. Second brain. It's better.
I wonder where you were going with that one then.
Okay. Yeah. Second brain. Your own colleague and not your friend. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Second brain.
It's not just for mundane tasks though. Like I've used so I've got a Chat GPT Pro subscription. I've had that since day one, since it's been in the UK, just so I can throw things at it. And I use it for writing basic PowerShell or if I have a question I need to raise with a client, I will ask for the possible objections with what I'm about to ask, so that I'm prepared for what they might say.
Mm.
Like you can get one step ahead by using these tools, so you may as well just do it.
Yeah, I'm also like I also have a thing about when I write emails, I can be really really cold. Also when I write messages to people, without without being cold. I want to show everyone love and all of that, but I want to be as political correct as I can be. It's a great tool as well to rebrand your what you want to accomplish in writing, so you can connect with
I've
multiple.
also
Yeah,
I've also used
Plugins.
that before.
yeah.
I'm really frustrated at this individual. I think they're an idiot. Here's the situation. How can I politely tell them that I'm not agreeing with them? And it will say, as a generative language model, I advise you not to call your colleagues an idiot, but you can try these steps. It's fun.
Okay,
It's
guys.
fun tool to use.
So yeah, it's I agree. So is there any ending comment you guys wanna have on the subject, or anything random to say? Then
Please
you have
lower the
your
price.
the price.
I
Yeah.
don't think the price is not going to change. I don't think.
Well, it's yeah, what you mentioned already. It's pretty expensive, but if you use all the tools, it will really save you some money. Absolutely.
And like the latest feature, like we also the Power Automate thing coming to Chat GPT. Like
Yeah.
you just say I want to create a power flow and logic app, it will create it.
Great to know, guys. And I was just thinking about you guys were actually also one of the first guys to come on our episode 1, I think it was. Yeah.
Yes.
I can already feel that I'm getting used to this recording stuff and talking to a microphone, and yeah, it feels more natural, I will say.
Yeah. Yes. Getting used to it, confidence, personal level, all those things. Yeah.
That's how we evolve. Okay, guys. So thank you for coming on, and see you all hopefully next time when we're gonna focus more on mobile device management. Okay, ciao ciao.